Well, Icasa's plans to cut core rates by up to 50% has been put on hold until May. Nomvuyiso Batyi, Councillor at Icasa, joins us now for more. Nomvuyiso, thank you so much for your time today. Perhaps going back to the decision to postpone the implementation of termination rate cuts. Why? Why push it back?
We actually postponed the implementation date largely due to the MTN court case, because we're expected to respond by tomorrow, which is the 18th of Feb, to file our opposing affidavit. And we have 31 respondents, and Icasa is one of them. There's about almost 400 pages that we have to respond to. So in order for the court to decide, the court to decide the matter on a less urgent basis, so that to afford all parties equal opportunity to respond to the affidavits by MTN.
What do you make of some of the criticism that's likely to come on the back of this decision to delay implementation, that perhaps Icasa is showing that it doesn't have the muscle to back some of the pieces of legislation or that it wants to pull through? How do you take that?
I mean, the criticism for us, we are saying you'd rather have a short-term delay than have a long-term delay, in the sense that, say the matter is heard next week, which is the 25th of Feb, and we're not thoroughly prepared for the case, and it's heard in favor of the other party, there might be a protracted legal battle that can last up to 2 years, whereas we're saying a delay of a month or two is better than a delay of 2 years. That's how we're looking at it. It's more of a strategy on our part as to how you balance the two.
So clearly Icasa is not a toothless dog in this story.
No.
But take us back to how you're going to appropriately prepare yourself for this case against MTN. What are MTN's key complaints regarding the MTRs?
Okay, from what, because we are still taking legal advice, the entire weekend we're sitting with our legal team. The main contention is procedural fairness, and I cannot go into the detail of the case because it's still going to be heard fully next week, and then we will present our case as to why it should not be heard on a more urgent basis, but on a less urgent basis.
Nomvuyiso, I'm quite sorry, because I'm quite sure that you, throughout the weekend, sitting with your legal team, you've probably anticipated what would happen if Vodacom decided to join in the fray, and perhaps join in the fray towards May, which would also mean another delay. How are you preparing for that, and are you expecting that Vodacom is going to perhaps bolster the argument of MTN?
Vodacom is also a respondent, and they are entitled to respond, and Icasa will take, because we take each and every court case on its merit, and then we look at it. If Vodacom does decide to join, we will make a decision at that point as to what is the appropriate action to take.
A lot of questions have been raised regarding the cost calculation. I take it with regard to the MTR cuts, Nozipho. So I'm not too sure, are you guys not calculating it correctly? Because MTN and Vodacom both come out strongly, saying that they've invested quite heavily in infrastructural development for the telecoms industry in South Africa. So is that what you're fighting against, or?
Remember, the role of the regulator is to regulate in a public interest. And so when we are doing our cost, obviously it's going to be different from a company whose role is solely driven by profits and dividends. So we could never be in a position of agreeing as to what is the appropriate rate. So we did not, how do I say it, we did not expect that they will say, yes, Icasa, you've arrived at an appropriate decision, because we take everyone into account. As you recall, that South Africa has an unequal society. You look at universal access as well, universal service. Everyone must be, it's almost like a balance. So the scale should not tip on the side of operators and not on the scale of end users. So that's how we look at it.